What do you think? It's not things I know, figure it out yourself. Even when I try to consult, he won't even listen. Thinking about Tom and his friends spending the rest of their days in Saipan without any disturbance, I realized there was no longer any need to hesitate. When we got home, we quickly started packing. Can we really move out right now? Yes, it's all good. We immediately had them come over and started moving out things that were already packed. After that, we headed straight to the real estate agent. I want to sell my house. The real estate agent was very kind and managed to arrange for the house to be sold the same day. And just like that, Tom no longer had a home to return to. My name is Jessica, and I'm 43 years old. Currently, my husband Tom and I live in an apartment in the city. We got married 5 years ago. It was a late marriage, and since we were not blessed with children, we don't have any. Still, thanks to Tom's words, life's joys aren't limited to having children. I'm able to live happily every day without being tied down by guilt for not being able to have children. Tom is in his prime at 45. Lately, he's been stuck with a lot of overtime work and often comes home late. I used to work at the same company as Tom, but I quit when we got married. Tom said, "It's a bit embarrassing to work at the same company as my wife, so I want you to quit your job." Respecting Tom's wishes, I quit my job and have been a full-time housewife ever since. One day, I received a call from my sister-in-law, Mia, who lives in the next town. It was an unexpected call, and she said, "I'm a bit worried about Mom's condition. I can't go check on her right away, can you do it for me?" Mia is a very reliable person, and I have been in her care many times since marrying Tom. Mia has 2 children, a 9th grader and a 12th grader, both of whom are growing up to be fine individuals. Given how wonderful Mia is, it's no surprise her children are turning out so well. She's someone I deeply respect. So, of course, I rushed to check on my mother-in-law, Kate, the next day at Mia's request. How wonderful Mia can be immediately seen through Kate. I adore her. She's a straightforward person, always logical and holds firm opinions. She can rectify what's wrong and yet takes great care of those around her. I'm truly grateful to have met such a wonderful mother-in-law and sister-in-law through my marriage to Tom. I was shocked when I entered my in-laws' house. It was cluttered to the point there was no place to step, with trash everywhere, almost like a garbage house. This was odd because Kate is usually very tidy. In the midst of the clutter, Kate was idly sitting around, doing nothing. I called out, "Kate?" Slowly turning to me, she stood up and said, "Who might you be?" Then, looking at Tom who came with me, she said, "Ah, Tom, welcome." We were stunned. Shocked by the drastic change in Kate, we hurriedly made a doctor's appointment for the next day and had her examined. After undergoing various tests for days, the results came in. She had dementia. And it was severe enough to require care. We called Mia to the in-laws' house for a discussion. Needing care meant someone had to look after Kate at the in-laws' house indefinitely. Mia said, "Thank you, Jessica. I'll take it from here," but surprisingly, Tom objected. "No, Mia, it's tough for you since you live far and moving here would be hard on the kids." Indeed, since Mia lives in the next town, it would mean her younger child would have to transfer schools. "We'll move back here and take care of Mom." "That's okay, with you, right, Jessica?" I was surprised. I never thought Tom was such a responsible person. Moved by Tom's sentiment, I firmly agreed, of course. After all, it's for my beloved Kate. And so began my days of caring for Kate. Moving to the in-laws, our daily life with Kate started. While managing the house, I took care of all Kate's needs. Since she would try to wander off if not watched, I had to keep an eye on her at all times. Whether doing laundry, cleaning, or cooking, I was always watching over her. But then, I noticed the loneliness in her expressions. I wondered if she was really happy with such a life. Even with dementia, there must be moments of joy and happiness. Just being watched and having to sit still all the time couldn't possibly be enjoyable. So, I tried asking, "Kate, would you help me hang the laundry?" She brightened up and eagerly helped, saying, "Of course, I'd love to." Despite her struggles with dexterity, what mattered was her enjoyment in the task. This was indeed the right approach, and I was pleased. From then on, whether cooking or cleaning, I involved her instead of just watching over her. Thanks to this, she seemed to have become more comfortable with moving around. On sunny days, I'd suggest, the weather is nice today. How about we eat lunch in the park? Kate would agree, that sounds lovely, and we would enjoy our meals outdoors together. I never found this life burdensome. Mia always handled the hospital visits, and her 2 kids frequently came to see their grandmother. Amidst all this, there was someone completely uncooperative. That person was Tom. Though he was the one who initially said, "We'll take care of Mom," Tom hardly lifted a finger to help. Reporting to him about the day's events with Kate met with his disinterest and sluggish responses. Even when asked for a little help, he'd retort, "I'm tired from work." Why should I be tired at home too? Indeed, Tom has been coming home late due to overtime, so he might be tired, but I wished for some support. He wouldn't even speak to Kate upon returning home. What do you think about doing this for Kate next time? It's not things I know. Decide for yourself. Even when I tried to discuss something, he wouldn't listen. It felt as though Tom was only returning home to sleep. One night, Tom hadn't returned by 11 p.m. Given his recent pattern of late returns due to overtime, I went to bed assuming the same. However, sleep eluded me that night. As time passed, it turned into the early hours of the next day. I was wondering why Tom was so late when I heard a car outside. Thinking it was unusual to hear a car at such a late hour, I looked out the window and saw Tom getting out of the car. And in the driver's seat, there was a woman. In a moment that seemed surreal, they laughed together and, unbelievably, kissed. Without realizing, I had captured this moment on my phone, impressed by my own reflexes. Our bedroom at the in-laws is on the ground floor. Not far from the window to the car, the photo captured the scene perfectly. Shocked, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. Hearing the front door open, I quickly got back into bed. And that photo would later become my trump card. Since that night, I started paying close attention to Tom's behavior. And then, several inconsistencies began to emerge. Thinking about it, even the overtime he claimed to have was suspicious. Tom might have forgotten, but I used to work at the same company as him. I knew what kind of work he did, and it was clear that his job didn't require overtime if you thought about it. And it was possible to verify such a small lie. I called my former colleague and friend, Ashley, after a long time. It's been a while. What's up? Sorry to call out of the blue, but I wanted to ask something. How's Tom's department doing? Are they really busy? Tom's? No, I was assigned to the same department as Tom just last month. But it's really slow. I feel bad for getting paid for this. Just as I thought. There's no way he could be doing overtime in such a slow situation. That means Tom must be spending those evenings he claimed to be working late with his affair partner. My suspicion turned into conviction. One morning, Tom was about to leave for work with a large bag in his hand. I found it suspicious and asked, "What's with that big bag?" Tom, visibly flustered, said, "I suddenly have to go on a week-long business trip. Take care of things while I'm gone." A whole week? Where to? I need to check at the office. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, I'm off. And he hurried out. I sent a message to Ashley. Is anyone scheduled for a business trip today? I haven't checked, but there shouldn't be. We haven't had any big projects come in recently. Just as I thought. So, he's planning to be away for a week to meet his affair partner. Then, Jessica, Kate called out my name. She showed me a piece of paper. It had Tom's handwriting, with what seemed to be the name and phone number of a hotel, along with today's and tomorrow's dates and a room number. This fell out of Tom's pocket when I was doing his laundry the other day. I should have given it to you sooner. I'm sorry, Jessica. For Tom's behavior. So, Kate, you knew about Tom too? Jessica, we can't just let this slide. Tom needs to face the consequences of his actions. We don't have time to mope around. Kate's words were as if she was back to her old self before the dementia. Seeing her so determined filled me with resolve. Yes. I will never forgive him. First, with Kate's approval, we decided to call Mia. As soon as Mia arrived, she apologized, "Jessica. I'm so sorry. Tom has done something really stupid." I reassured Mia that there was no need for her to apologize, and the 3 of us began to plan our next steps. We checked the note and confirmed the location of the hotel. Tom would be staying there for the next 2 days. What to do next was the question. The next day, we decided to drive to the hotel in Mia's car. Arriving at a hotel close to the airport, we spotted a familiar car in the parking lot. I checked the photo on my phone. Of course, it was the photo from the night Tom was kissing that woman. It was the same car from that photo. After a while, a familiar man emerged from the hotel. It was indeed Tom. We hid in the shadow of the car to avoid being seen. Soon after, a woman came out and cozied up to Tom, linking arms with him. As I captured this scene with my camera, I witnessed something unbelievable. Both Kate and Mia were left speechless. There was a little boy, about 1 year old, with them. He happily held Tom's hand, and the three of them walked away cheerfully together. To anyone passing by, they would look like nothing but a happy, close-knit family. And here I was, his real wife, taking photos of this scene. I felt pathetic, but this was no time for such thoughts. The trio headed straight to the airport. They left their car at the hotel. Upon reaching the airport, they spent some time there, laughing and enjoying themselves before disappearing into the boarding area. Looking at their destination, it was Saipan. Thinking about Tom, the woman, and the boy spending the rest of their days in Saipan without any disturbance, I realized there was no longer any need to hesitate. When we got home, we immediately started sorting through our belongings and began packing quickly, then called the removal workers. Is it possible to move out right now? Yes, that's perfectly fine. They came promptly and helped us pack. As items were packed, they were moved out and temporarily stored at Mia's place. After that, we headed straight to the real estate agent. I want to sell my house. The staff at the real estate agency were very kind and arranged for the sale to be processed the same day. With this, Tom no longer had a home to return to. Just thinking about it made me feel exhilarated. Afterward, Kate and I booked a room in a nearby business hotel, where we would stay for a while. Tom indeed once told me life's joys aren't limited to having children. But did he actually want children? Did he have an affair and have a child because we couldn't have one together? Only he knows the truth, but as Kate said, I can't just let this go without doing anything. I will never forgive him. 7 days later, Tom called my phone. Hey, where are you? I can't open the door and get in. That makes sense. Because I sold that house. What are you talking about? Hope you enjoyed your 5 nights and 6 days trip to Saipan. Was it fun with your family of 3? I hope it made for some good memories. Well, I could tell Tom was frozen on the other end of the line. I continued. You no longer have a home here. We've moved out and sold the place. You should go back to the woman and your child. Wait, it's not like that, it's a misunderstanding. That child isn't mine, it's. Fed up with his excuses, I unleashed all my anger. Don't mess with me. Enough with the mocking, alright? You think excuses are going to fly now? I never want to see a scumbag like you ever again. Tom was silenced, perhaps shocked by my outburst. Kate, who had been listening on speaker, spoke up. Tom, no matter how much you try to squirm your way out of this, it's futile. We have all the evidence, and this call is being monitored by a lawyer. I'm severing ties with you as a parent. Don't expect any leniency or inheritance from me. But... Wait, Mom. You're not even showing signs of dementia. Idiot. I am genuinely diagnosed with dementia. But how could I not be there for Jessica in her time of need? She has been by my side through everything. I couldn't call myself a mother-in-law if I didn't repay that. Hearing this, tears welled up in my eyes. Despite everything my husband did, I was fortunate to have such a kind Kate and a supportive Mia. I was truly blessed as a daughter-in-law. Later, I divorced him. Thanks to the excellent support from the lawyer, I could divorce without any troubles. Of course, the photos served as crucial evidence, but the most significant factor turned out to be the existence of a secret child. The fact that I couldn't have children was also part of the reason, which feels quite complex when I think about it. I reported all the details of the affair to Tom's company, and he quickly became the subject of rumors there. However, these were not good rumors, and as a result, he was met with cold stares from everyone, from his coworkers to his superiors. Despite being unable to quit his job, he now works miserably, looked down upon by everyone. The affair partner, now aware of his financial ruin, treats him coldly, and he's not even allowed to see the child. Though he still has to pay child support. His life has become quite pitiful, both financially and mentally. Mia's eldest child got accepted into college and started living independently. Because of that, Kate began living with Mia. I purchased a plot of land and built a small, single-story house on it. It was there that I began a new chapter in my life. Utilizing the qualifications I already had, I now work from home. Kate and Mia often visit, so I never feel lonely. The dementia Kate had seems like a distant memory now. Although the doctors say it's hard to declare a full recovery, she credits her improvement to my support. I'm determined to find more joy in my life and live happily ever after.